Good morning, Binghamton. Good morning, Southern Tier, and anybody can hear the sound of my voice. My name is Fred. This is That Sunday Show on Magic 101.7. Today is April 21st. This is our 13th episode, and the significance of that will become very apparent here shortly. We've got the Glass Prism here, or members thereof. We're going to do a feature on them. And I'm very, very excited to announce my guest host, Mr. Colin Rickenback. Did I say it?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Here, say good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
And we're kind of hoping that Colin will come around some more, but we're announcing him as a guest in case he decides that this was a huge mistake. But welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. We're going to get things rolling pretty quick here. I wanted to let you guys know next week we've got the blind spots coming, and coming up we've got a tribute to it's kind of an interesting show, and I'm going to set it up by asking a trivia question, and you can answer the trivia question on the Magic 101.7 Facebook page, and that is, what was the greatest maritime disaster in U.S. history? Go ahead and put your guesses up there, and we'll announce anybody that gets it right. All right, we're going to play a song from the Blind Spots just to get you primed for next week's show. It's off of their new Small Stampede CD. It's called Animal State.
Flip the page, another year gone by.
All right. That was the Blind Spots. They're coming next week. We're very, very excited to have them. And now Colin's going to take his first shot at introducing a new artist.
Boy, am I nervous, too.
Come on now. You can do it.
All right, I got some good friends out there. They call themselves Acoustic Persuasion. It's made up of Jack McKissick, Marv Williams, Kerry Shore, and Murray Bernston. They're all over town. Again, it's Acoustic Persuasion, and this is a song off their CD that they gave to me just the other day. It's called Keep Your Lamps Trimmed and Burning.
Good job. Good job. All right, we're taking it to the other room now. Okay. How long is this song? Not that I remember.
Trimmed and burning, keep your lamps. Keep your lamps trimmed and burning, for this whole world is almost done. Mother, don't you stop praying. Father, keep right on praying. Mother, don't you stop praying, for this whole world is almost done. Keep your lamps trimmed and burning, keep your lamps. Keep your lamps trimmed and burning, for this whole world is almost done. Sister, don't you stop praying. Brother, keep right on praying. Sister, don't you stop praying, for this whole world is almost done.
Glass Prism. You guys can do it. It's not hard to find. Whoever's doing that stuff. Fire away! Well, we're going to open up with the first song, right? We're just going to say good morning, names, and then we'll do the first one.
Keep your lamps trimmed and burning, keep your lamps. Keep your lamps trimmed and burning, for this whole world is almost done. Mother, don't you stop praying. Father, keep right on praying. Mother, don't you stop praying, for this whole world is almost done.
Whoa, it's good. You had me, man. What do I know?
Mother, don't you stop praying. Father, keep right on praying. Mother, don't you stop praying, for this whole world is almost done. For this whole world is almost done. For this whole world is almost done.
All right. This is That Sunday Show. My name's Fred. This is Magic 101.7. I'm here with my guest host, Colin, and the Glass Prism. Good morning, fellas.
Hey, good morning.
Hey,
All
Fred.
right.
Hi, Colin.
Hello, hello, hello.
I got Lou, I got Tom, and over off mic is Dick. And
Now,
you
Dick
guys-
is the president of Deborah Records.
Okay.
And Deborah Records is the new label that we're on. We were on RCA for a while, just a few years ago, like 1969, 70.
Yeah.
And now we're on Deborah Records, which is a really neat record label, been around since the 50s, out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. And Dick is here with us. He's the owner of it. And,
Cool.
We're glad that he
Cool.
came by.
All right. Well, before we got a lot to talk about, but let's hear a sample of your work. You guys picked the track, so let's go with the first one you picked. What is it?
We're going to do a song called Cognac and Roses. This is going to be from the actual
Well,
CD.
actually, no.
Wait.
Let's put it on. They're going to do
Oh, we're gonna
Conquer
do
a
Conquer a
Worm
Worm,
first.
okay.
Yeah.
And Conquer a Worm, this is Edgar Allan Poe for a little brief background, because I know you have this coming up. But
Oh, 'cause
this is
our
Edgar Allan
13th
Poe words.
episode?
Yeah.
Is
This is it.
13th
That's
episode?
true. Oh, son of a
We
gun.
are on the 13th.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
Well, no, that kind of falls into what's going on. But anyway, Deborah Records paid and produced us. This CD was done last year, and it's Resurrection of the Glass Prism, and this is some of the songs from their 1969 RCA album.
Okay.
But this is off the latest one. It's called Conquer a Worm. Yeah, they could say, why are you listening to radio? You're supposed to be in church.
Flapping from out of their condor wings, invisible woe. See amid the mimic rout, a crawling shape in June, a blood-red thing that writes from out the scenic solitude. It writes with mortal pangs, the minds become its food, and the angels sob at foaming fangs, inhuman or imbued. That motley drama, oh, be sure, it shall not be forgot, with its phantom chased forevermore by a crowd that sees it not, through a circle that returneth in to the self-same spot, and much of madness and more of sin, and the horror, the soul of the bride. The curtain, a funeral pall, comes down with the rush of a storm, and the angels all pallid and wan, uprising, unveiling, affirm that the play is a tragedy, man, and its hero, the conqueror world.
All right, we're back with That Sunday Show on Magic 101.7. My name is Fred. I'm here with Colin and the Glass Prism. Thank you, fellas. Now, there's quite a lot of history to the Glass Prism and Shenandoah. You want, Tom, you want to try to give us
I will try to do this
history
as
lesson?
quickly as I can.
Well, it doesn't have to be quick, but we've only got a couple hours. So.
Talk fat.
That's
Have
why
a
I said
coffee.
it's going to
Give
be
me
quick.
coffee.
So, 1960, a band called the El Camino started. I was in the group. And in 1965, it became something more important than just a local bar band or a group that played at high school dances. The 60s, you know, with the Beatles, et cetera, was a neat time to be in a band. Everybody had a street corner band.
Oh, yeah.
By 1968, we came up with this idea to take the words of Edgar Allan Poe and put them to music. And so we were working on that. We had about 11 songs worked out when Mort Lewis, the manager of Simon & Garfunkel, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, came by and said he liked the idea. We did a 4-song demo. Within a couple weeks, we had a record deal with RCA. They sent us over to Les Paul Studio. Well, he was the engineer, basically the producer. And the album Poe Through the Glass Prism came out.
Wow.
At the same time, Mort Lewis had some type of a problem with Blood, Sweat, and Tears, who he was managing, and disappeared. So even though we were on the charts like Billboard and Cashbox and Record World and all that stuff, it didn't go quite as far as it should have gone because RCA didn't like the idea of us not going on this great tour that was supposed to be planned with Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Huh.
So Mort Lewis is missing in 1969, and he's still missing.
I was going to say, he's still missing
He's
now.
still
isn't he?
missing.
Yeah, yeah.
And just as a
He's
side note,
Morty out there?
We don't know where Mort is. Think about this, though. Mort Lewis in the late 60s was probably one of the top managers in the United States. Simon and Garfunkel, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and Dave Brubeck, the great jazz pianist, famous song, Take Five. That's who he's managing, and the Glass Prism.
And he just vanished?
And he never managed anybody again. And he never spoke to anybody again, and here's some proof. About 2 years ago, I had a phone call from his cousin, who called me because she said she knew that he was managing us, and did we know how to find him? She had not spoken to him since 1969. Wow. A year after we had our little situation with Mort Lewis sort of blow up, Paul Simon, Mort got divorced, and Paul Simon married his wife. So Paul Simon, Art Garfunkel break up. Paul marries his wife. He loses David Clayton Thomas and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Well, no wonder he disappeared. He probably was not a happy guy.
The other thing, too, he had Blood, Sweat, and Tears. He had Simon and Garfunkel.
Yes.
He had Dave Brubeck. And you were the last guys?
We were the last group that he
You
signed.
did make an impression on him.
Yeah, we heard him a lot.
He ran
and he
away. He took off. He said, "Oh, my God, I can't do this anymore. My goodness." Well,
So
God bless you more, whatever the heck
that's-
you are.
that's-
You son of a gun, you should have stayed with
That's
us.
chapter
I'm
one.
sure.
That's
He's sitting
chapter
on the
one.
deck of a boat with a cocktail.
With a
and an
cocktail.
umbrella
He did
in
go to
it.
Florida, and he got on his yacht, and that's where he stayed.
Yeah, cocktail in one hand and a babe in the other, I hope.
And his partner, Gene Weiss, went to Florida, could not reach him, and never spoke to him again.
And they were partners.
After that, never again. No conversations, no return phone calls, nothing.
Augie got to him, too, then, right?
Well, something happened.
Something might
So that's
happen.
chapter one.
That's chapter one.
Chapter
All
one.
right. So we're going to play a song before
You know-
we do chapter 2?
You know, we did this whole album of Edgar Allan Poe songs, and then we had an opportunity with Deborah Records to redo some of those songs with new arrangements. But Louis decided that we should actually do a song about Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
And so,
A little chronology of his life and
yeah, a little
All
bit,
right.
yeah.
something else.
And has kind of a neat title. It's called Cognac and Roses. And for those that are Poe buffs, every year at his birthday, there's a big event.
Well, it's not so much a big event. A bottle of cognac with a couple of drinks out of it, and I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And 3 roses
Yes.
are left on his tombstone.
Yes.
And that was going on up until about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's been going on since
1947 or something
1947.
weird, like
Well,
way back.
He was in the 1840s.
But-
So anyway, I went through a whole bunch of things about Edgar Allan Poe, and I came up with this song. It's called Cognac and Roses. He only lived 40 years. The words he wrote still remain. We then saw our world in the light of a different day. Took our minds up darkened stairs to a locked door at the end of the hall. Apprehensive moving in the room where our feelings have been cold. Cognac and roses, in the darkness you've touched a heart. Cognac and roses, even death can't tear you apart. The pen in hand, his mind full of dark thoughts. Edgar Allan Poe. Money with no love, sent away to school. No man of war but pen in hand, everything succumbs to his will. Love any lover, kill any foe, make the truth known to us all. Stop me with your cryptograms, I will solve them all. Cognac and roses, in the darkness you've touched a heart. Cognac and roses, even death can't tear you apart. The pen in hand, his mind full of dark thoughts. Edgar Allan Poe, the one ray of light that ever slipped into his room. Took his happiness, which he left his life too soon.
only lived 40 years. The words he wrote still remain. We then saw our world in the light of a different day. Took our minds up darkened stairs to a locked door at the end of the hall. Apprehensive moving in the room where our feelings have been cold. Cognac and roses, in the darkness you touched the heart. Cognac and roses, even death can't tear you apart. Pen in hand, his mind full of dark thoughts. Edgar Allan Poe. 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 Whoa, that's it. I want to tell you that song has 3 key changes in it. And the last one should not be done before noon. But, oh my goodness.
You did it. You pulled it off. Sounded good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit of things that he went through his life. He was really into solving cryptograms and puzzles. And with this album was coming out right when their movie, The Raven, was coming out. But the movie, I don't know, did you see the movie at all?
Yeah, I was reading all this. I thought it was great because you referenced how there was a lot of movies made of Poe's stuff with Vincent Price.
Yes.
And,
He did all the stories.
Right, absolutely. And so, was it your idea, Tom?
Augie Cristiano and myself came up with.
He's not here. Take the credit.
He's not. He isn't here.
Absolutely.
But yes, he had the idea to put the words of The Raven to music.
And I was really struck by that song, and I read that you did the vocal in one take.
Yeah, he did sing it on one take at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yep.
5 in the morning.
5 in the morning. We actually, during the recording of the album, the first album, Poe Through the Glass Prism, we were at Edgar Allan Poe's in Les Paul's studio at his house, where we stayed for 3 days, and that's when it all
That
sort of
must have
came
been
about.
a great time.
It was pretty cool because 2 weeks before we got there, I bought a Les Paul guitar, which I still use. And so here we are in the guy's house who invented the electric guitar, did all kinds of things with recording, double track, 4-track, 8-track, echo, reverb. That's where we recorded this album.
Pretty regular guy when you're in his house?
A real regular guy. And then, you know, as the time went on and people decided to do a documentary about our life story,
Right.
he was still around. He died just a couple of years ago.
Right.
But he was playing at the Iridium nightclub in New York every Monday night up till 92 years old. And he agreed to be interviewed, and his interview is part of the documentary.
Yeah, that was really nice to have.
Yeah.
But it shows you that musicians, no matter how talented you are, no matter what you do in life, you still have to work until your 90s. It's amazing. There's no health care.
I'm looking at this album.
They don't care. If we were in Ireland now, we.
This album is amazing because it's still got the shrink wrap on it. And
Oh yeah, those.
I just love the clothes. And you have the
Colin has an original vinyl Glass Prism, the album.
in my hand.
Yeah.
R.C.
Yeah.
Victor. And it's got the lyrics on the back, which they would own. I think the Beatles were the first ones to put their lyrics on. The first one was Sgt. Pepper. So this was a couple years after that.
Yes.
And it's got a beautiful picture of Edgar Allan Poe. And it's just, I feel like I got a nice piece of treasure in my hand.
Yeah.
The story behind that is a gentleman from Ohio purchased a tractor trailer back in 1978.
Right.
In the tractor trailer were thousands of albums.
Wow.
300 of them were Glass Prism albums. Others were Guess Who, Grassroots, those kinds of acts during that time. He held on to this until recently, and he located us and said, hey, I've got your albums.
This is great.
So now there are some perfect condition albums.
Unopened.
They can be
Unopened. And when we perform next week, we're going to be doing a big show on the 27th at Genetti Manor in Dixon City, Pennsylvania, just north of Scranton.
All right, you're off script, but go ahead.
Line 23 on the third page coming up.
We'll have some of those albums there as well.
Excellent, excellent. So there was chapter 1 of the history. Is there a chapter 2 you want to tell, or should we play another song?
Let's
or-
play another
Well,
song.
actually,
What's
chapter
appropriate?
2 would be Shenandoah, wouldn't it?
Yeah, what happened was in 1971, after some years of doing the Poe songs and so forth, Louis joined the group, and we changed the name to Shenandoah, recorded an album.
It's all because of him.
It's all because of him.
I drove. I had the equipment. That's why.
Had to have it
He's
said.
got the band.
I owned the truck. Hey, it's all because of me, baby.
It all adds up. And so this album did not get released in the 70s because music was going disco and
Yep.
a little different style. And we were still a rock group. We've been a rock group since the beginning. But now Deborah Records decided to put that album in with the packaging of the new album Resurrection
Right.
as a bonus.
And you can
And
get
it's
that
still-
online or wherever.
Yeah,
CD
and you can
Baby
see it
down there.
online and so
Yeah.
forth and so
Yeah.
on.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Could we play a song off that album?
you
just so
bet you
people
can.
hear it?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
there's
we
a-
are? Okay,
We're
that's
not,
good.
we're not going to do it live. Well, let's take it right off the CD.
the Shenandoah one.
Yeah. Shenandoah
What
CD.
what song?
Let's do Try.
Oh, you want to try
Is
it?
that lined up, you think?
Is Try up?
Make sure Dana's
Yes,
on
sir.
board.
We're going to roll with
Dana's
Try
on
from-
board with our little plan.
This was done at Bell Studios in New York City in 1972, and the recording, you have to hear the whole song. Try.
Did he already started? Is that it? Is he playing it?
Yes.
Okay. He is. He's actually. I thought you were sleeping there. Boom.
There.
All right. Lou picked up the signal. That's good. Yeah.
For white.
Let me yak for a second. I'll just do the station identification and then say we're gone for a break. We'll be right back.
You remember that? Well, I tell you, he's shot. That's some good engineering. Where's that scotch? He used to be singing them all. I have been working on
Yep.
Boogie nights. No, I missed it.
Oh, really?
Good. Yeah, I think it's going great.
Okay, how much time? This is when he gets back. You've been on for 4 minutes. It's like that joke.
Okay, we're gonna take a break now. Is that you?
That's you?
That's a high note.
It's a high E above C.
I sing E now, but it's a G.
Okay. Oh, did I talk on the last note?
Is it over? Is it over? Is it over?
Gotta be careful.
That was it. That was it.
That Sunday Show. Tell your friends the only radio station that features local talent is Magic 101.7. All music heard on That Sunday Show is the property of the writers and performers.
Magic 101.7.
Hey, it's That Sunday Show. My name is Fred, and you just heard this is Magic 101.7. I got my guest host, Colin, here.
Good morning.
And we got the Glass Prism.
Hi, everybody.
And we were going to talk a little bit about, Lou, your history before getting with the band. That's kind of interesting stuff.
It's really interesting stuff.
Talk to us.
I did travel a little bit, and I played in a lot of bands. There was before I got with Shenandoah, I was in a band called Ralph, who played up here a bit at Kirkwood.
Now I'm showing my age because I remember you guys.
Yeah,
and
I was a big
remember it,
champion band.
Yep.
And I was there for about almost a year with them. I played keys, and then I got with Tommy and Rick with Shenandoah. After that, I went on the road with the Box Tops, which had The Letter and a bunch of other songs, a road version of the band. And then with my good friends, the guys from Dakota, which is the Jerry Kelly Band or the Boys. The two guys from the Boys, Bill and Jerry. So we opened up for Queen in 1980. We were on the whole tour with them.
The Boys, right? Is it the Boys?
The Boys, yeah, did Timothy.
Timothy,
Rupert
right.
Holmes song. And as a matter of fact, Rupert Holmes, the Glass Prism was supposed to actually do that song. And
Yeah, actually, at the time that we were signing with RCA, Mike called up.
Mike Stahl, right? No, Mike
Love?
Mike Wright.
Mike Wright, yeah.
Michael Wright was a producer.
He was
at
a
Scepter
producer,
Records.
and he called to say, would you guys do this song? We're thinking about signing you. And I said, well, we just signed with RCA. And I said, but I know some people that I used to
Right.
book, and they were their opening act for us. They were called the Boys. And so they ended up getting the contract.
That's a
and
huge
releasing Timothy.
song.
Huge.
That was a big song.
Huge. It's who's the horror writer? Oh, come on, Tremors. The guy who writes books. Anyway, it's his favorite Halloween song.
Oh,
about cannibalism, but it's not. It's about the mines and everything in the Hazleton area in the northeastern Pennsylvania, which a lot of people worked in and gave their lives into.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
But that was it. And that encompassed a whole bunch of years. And it's amazing because I'm still 29, so I don't know how
me too.
that happened.
Me too.
And you drove the truck.
Yeah. That's why I got all those gigs. Who are you kidding? No. Hey, we need Louie. Does he play? I don't know. I got a truck.
He drives.
Jeez.
And he played with the Box Tops, too.
It's the same truck all these years.
Great
Oh,
stuff.
man.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, God.
Now, Louis does a song on the Shenandoah album that was written by Seth Greinke. He produced that album, and he was managing Screamin' Jay Hawkins.
Oh, dear.
He managed the New York Dolls.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember all those groups. but
David
anyway,
Johansen, yeah.
They went nowhere,
Yes.
too, didn't they? I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure. Anyway, the song, although it has some a real good characteristic, has a nice storyline to it. I was 19 singing it. I didn't care about it, but we did our best on it, and I think we're going to play that, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
called
great.
I Used to Wear My Hair Real Long.
Yeah, I used to, too.
I used to have my hair real long. I used to have hair.
All right. Dana, you ready?
He's
Hit
rolling.
it. It's the one that says, I used to wear my hair real long.
Oh, wait a minute.
And I said I did, too.
Did we put it on the list?
Everything was black and white. Only what was right. Protest and the love needs. The love is and what the world needs. For most of us it slipped away. When I think back, I've got to say. Making love was right. Making war was wrong. But my hair's much shorter now. The future is here and now. Making love still right. But I don't make it as often now. When the leather shop went round, we'd sell a little smoke and we'd get by. Just a little high. But the bad trips and the knocks and the bus that never came, we all thought it was a game. Just a silly devil's game. place left to crash. I got myself a Spanish job, bought a suit to match. Now they all call me responsible, but that's not where my head is really at. I'm just a weekend warrior. I'm 95, such a boy. I used to wear the red hair long. Future is on. Making love was alright. Making more was wrong, wrong, wrong. But my hair's much shorter now. The future, it's here, that it's now. Making love still right, but I don't make it as often
Okay, we're this is that was a great song. This is Magic 101.7, That Sunday Show. My name's Fred, here with the Glass Prism, and we're going to continue in the history lesson. We go from the mid-'70s. You guys kind of went your separate ways, and then
The basic group actually started in 1960. Now it's 1976.
Yep,
And we decided to take a break.
gotcha.
I moved to the Binghamton area to start a company called Music Star Agency to do bookings, to do promoting, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
Excellent.
And you know, got married and have 5 kids and 5 grandkids and all that good stuff. Louis stayed on the road doing his thing. Rick, the drummer, retired for a bit, did a few things in between. Then in the around 2006, 2007, people started saying, you know, everybody's doing reunions. Why aren't you guys doing reunions? So, you know, we got together, worked some material out. I was in contact with a lady by the name of Helen McKenna Duff.
McKenna Duff down in
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
down in
at the,
Philadelphia. And she is a curator at the Edgar Allan Poe Historic Site. That is a home where Edgar lived for a number of years, wrote some of his best stuff.
Cool.
Across the street is a theater called the German Theater. Every so often they have special events there for the Edgar Allan Poe Historic Site and the Society. It's a group of people. And they ask us to come down during one of their events to maybe do 5 songs. Just as special guests. Now, we hadn't played together in 40 years. So we got together, putting together 5 songs from
Yeah,
one
that's
of the
key.
2 albums.
The 5 songs is the key point.
That's the key point. Because even 5 songs is going to be a big deal when you hadn't picked up your instruments for a while
Yeah,
and played together for a while.
yeah.
About 10 days before the show, I got a phone call that said, by the way, you guys are the headliners. And you're not going to be playing 5 songs, you're going to be playing more.
About an hour.
Yeah. Well, we actually ended up doing a 70-minute show
Yeah.
at the Edgar Allan Poe Historic Site. Now, during the sort of getting the whole thing together and some of the rehearsals and so forth, I got a phone call from a guy by the name of Bob Ross from Sally Productions, who has done a couple of documentaries that were on HBO. So he said, I'd like to do a documentary on you guys. And it started with him filming that show, then doing interviews with Les Paul and a bunch of other people, and all the people in the band to tell this whole story of how we got with RCA, et cetera.
And this was all done through the magnanimousness of this one guy, me, at my store, because they filmed it all in the store. We rehearsed at my
Yes.
store since 2007.
Louis
We're
has
doing
a
this-
music
Wow.
store in
I have-
Scranton.
I have a music
called-
store in Scranton. Yeah.
Kosas Music
Kosas
and
Music.
Sound.
I work with even John Eichhoff up here, McNeil Music up here. They have a great music store here up in Binghamton area.
Okay.
And I have one down in there. But anyway, we rehearsed there, and we did the video there, some parts of it.
Yep.
And we went down to Philadelphia and played.
And that was sort of the beginning of bringing the group back, the reunion of the group.
Gotcha.
At one of the shows we were playing, we only did that show 2007. We played at the Scranton Cultural Center in 2008. And then we played, now the documentary gets finished, and we air this thing kind of like an opening act when we played at the Mellow Theater in Scranton, which is another historic theater.
Yeah. And guess who's in the audience?
And in the audience is Dick Plotkin, the owner of Deborah Records.
This guy sitting here?
This guy
That guy
sitting
sitting
here.
there.
He came up to me afterwards and said some stuff.
Good stuff. What's all good stuff? He's still here. Hi, Dick. How you doing?
Well, thank you very much. It's very nice to be here. I want to thank Magic 101.7.
You got it.
Fred for having us here and
Sure.
the crew. And As Tom is telling you, he's giving you a brief history of course, what he has gone through for many years. And Deborah Records is extremely delighted. It's an old doo-wop label from the 1950s to record the Glass Prism. And we've come a long way and put together a beautiful versions of many of the Poe songs that have been created by the Glass Prism. Formerly, they were the El Caminos, and then evolved to Shenandoah. So what we're doing here today is putting together a little bit of a gathering of some material, and we're presenting a show that's coming up with the Glass Prism, April 27th, which is this coming Saturday at Supper Club in Dixon City, Pennsylvania, called Genetti's Manor. And this show is going to actually be the beginning of one of the appearances at a supper club, whereby we're going to have a wonderful, great buffet for anybody to eat to their heart's delight and hear the wonderful music of the Glass Prism, along with another group that's going to be considered the special guest, called the Jeffrey James Band, which is a local band. And the Glass Prism will feature many of their songs that they recorded that you will hear today, of course. And the album will be available at I guess what's that, Tom? Your local
they're
record?
also available at the Music City over on Vestal Parkway. Everybody knows Benny Fiacco, and yeah, get on over there. We may stop over there after the show to see Benny and some people if you guys want to stop over. We're going to be over at the Music City Music Store on the Vestal Parkway, right across the street from the mall.
All right, very good.
Yeah, I heard he has a wet bar, so this is
Yeah, yeah.
And you guys will have the CDs there at the benefit too, right?
Yes, we will.
Concert on Saturday.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, it's only a hop, skip, and jump from the local Binghamton area to
Absolutely.
Yeah, with the radar, you
right
took
over the
35
mountain.
minutes to come up here.
Oh, I'm sorry. We look forward to entertaining a great amount of the people that will come. It's the show is available, and there's VIP tickets available for $39, and also there's tickets available for a secondary sitting at $29. And if people want to come just for the show, and they want to have a great time and dance, we have $15 tickets available as well. So,
excellent.
And can I give you the number to call if they wish to call?
You're more than welcome to give it. I just, I'm going to say, refer to just, if you do what I did, just
Go
Google
ahead.
Glass Prism. Their website comes up, and I'm sure all that info is on there. But yeah,
Glass Prism Band.
Well, if they wish to call ahead, they can call 570-383-0207. 570-383-0207, and that's Genetti Manor for reservations, and we'll have plenty of reservations available for anyone who wants to come.
Excellent, excellent.
All right, Dick. Very good.
So, yeah, wonderful. Appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you kindly.
Enough of this talk. Let's play some more music. You guys going to play one for us?
You know, we can play another one.
Cool.
Good.
On
Surprise me.
the album, the last song on the album is called To Octavia. Rick, the drummer, sings the lead on it. He sounds great. We have a great arrangement. The song got put together in the studio, and we've never really messed around with it except for in the studio. So we're just going to mess around with it. Did you play it? Yeah.
Either last week or the week before.
Yeah.
It's a cool song.
It's cool. And this is the acoustic version of it that we have never done this
All
way.
right.
We're in wine and friends met, and laughter crowns the festive hour. In vain I struggle to forget, still does my heart confess the power, and fondly turn to thee, turn to thee. Octavia, I turn to thee. Octavia, do not strive to rob my heart of all that soothes the pain. Moan for hope in every throb. Great clouds shed the morning rain. We'll make it break for thee, break for thee. Octavia, my heart breaks for thee. We'll make it break for thee. Oh, break for thee. Octavia, my heart breaks for thee. When wit and wine and friends have met, laughter crowns the festive hour. Vain I struggle to forget, still does my heart confess the power, and fondly turn to thee, turn to thee. Octavia, I turn to thee, and fondly turn to thee, turn to thee. Octavia, I turn to thee.
Very cool.
Delicious.
Right, yeah, it's breaded. And they have a home in Japan. It's
Magic 101.7.
Your locally owned and operated station presents That Sunday Show with your host, Fred Hotchkiss. Brought to you by Audio Classics, Hussar Insurance, Greg's Marketplace in Whitney Point and Marathon, Albright Electric, The Goat Boy Owego, Sherry Palm Clinical Social Worker, Baked Euphoria, York Productions, At Your Service Grooming, Taylor Reynolds Jensen Road Vestal, and Greater Binghamton's official at work station at 101.7, 102.5, and around the world at magic1017fm.com.
All music heard on That Sunday Show is the property of the writers and performers.
This is what music was created for. Magic 101.7.
Hi, Fred. Hey, we're back. Usually he plays my theme music coming out of the 11 o'clock break, but for those of you who can't see, we can't see either. We're out in the lobby because we're taking up so much space, so we can't see Dana, and our hand signals aren't working. So that's why it gets a little disconnected. We got to get a mirror.
Can
like
you see
Lou
my
suggested.
hand signal now, Fred?
Yeah, I can imagine what your hand signal is now. All right, the Glass Prism. You're going to play us another one. What is it?
You know, all these songs that we're doing acoustically are on the album with the full band, the keyboards, the drums.
Yeah,
the
we're kind of like
voices, the whole
unplugged.
thing.
Yeah, that's
this
a
is the
disclaimer.
unplugged version.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
It's
is
called
O Tempora, O Moors.
Edgar Allan Poe's words.
All times of manners, it is my opinion. You're changing sadly your dominion. I mean the reign of manners has long ceased. These men have none at all, or bad at least.
Dun dun dun.
And as for times, although it's said by many, the good old times were far the worst of any. What can be the table and take the matter up when I'm more able. Da, da, da. I've been thinking, isn't that the phrase? Who the devil cares? I like your Yankee words, your Yankee ways. I've been thinking whether it were best. Who the devil cares to take these all serious or take them all in jest? Dun dun dun. Damn it, sir, it's a disgrace. Take these things boldly in the face. Change me as politicians do. Right by you. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. A little abridged version of O Tempore or Mores.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Very cool indeed. So now we're up to current events. You got that show this coming Saturday. Beyond that, you got a bunch of gigs lined up?
Actually, we take them one at a time.
Okay.
If we can get from the beginning to the end of the next one, and we're still pumping, then we'll talk about the next one.
Any writing going on? Any new recordings in the works? Anything?
Writings
you're
are going
watching
on. Recordings are in the works. We have to talk to Dick about that.
for? All right.
Yeah, but Tom always has something, yeah.
We're working on we're working on it.
Cool.
One step at a time.
Watch the website then.
You look at the website. It's called GlassPrismBand.com.
All right.
And you can see the history there. You can see the pictures. You can hear some music. You can click on CD Baby to hear excerpts of the album. You can come over to Music City this afternoon or anytime and pick up the album. It's around.
And he's got some of the copies of that vinyl?
The vinyl is not there yet. We just got our hands on those. We'll see about that.
Okay.
There's a documentary you guys did as well, right?
There's a documentary.
The DVD.
There's a DVD. We didn't even talk about the second RCA album on Joy and Sorrow. There's some stuff.
They're all on the website.
Everything's on the website. You can check it all
Very,
out.
very nice website. Very nice.
Thanks a lot.
Very inclusive.
Thanks.
You know, watching the clip of the documentary brought me back to my younger days.
That's what we're doing. We're just bringing back memories, to tell you the truth.
They were wonderful memories.
Nice
Wonderful memories.
We will give you a copy of the documentary. I'll get it to you.
Thank you very much. That'd be great. Love to see
It's
it.
about an hour long, and it gives the whole history from beginning to end. And you'll get to see the last interview with Les Paul before he was passing.
Wow. Speaking of Les Paul, again, The Raven is the leadoff song on Pull Through the Glass Prism.
Yep.
And he produced it.
He produced it, yep. He was the engineer. That was the first single off that album.
Yep. Excellent.
Do that in his basement?
That is
in his studio. His studio was amazing.
It wasn't down in the basement with the enclosed garage.
It's the enclosed garage
over the windows.
Yeah, the whole thing.
You know, he was actually. He said something before. I'll be real quick. He said something about the originator electric guitar. He wasn't. Leo Fender was.
Right.
He advanced on the idea, which is still both are phenomenal guitars. But the thing he is a pioneer in, before they came up with multi-track recording, he would actually go in and cut the erase heads off the wired cord to an erase head and put a switch on it. So he could do a track and then do it again and wouldn't erase the prior track. And he was the pioneer in that.
Double track.
Not only double tracking, but actually multiple track recording. Then they actually made a head with 4 tracks and everything. That was probably one of the things he had in his studio.
Yep.
Les Paul was a...
Not to mention the classic recordings, right, that he did.
Yep.
Yep, and he still had to work until he was 90. It's terrible.
Awesome.
Well, guys, thank you very, very much for
Fred,
coming
thanks
in
for
and
having us.
hooking
One thing
up.
we want to say before we go, do we have a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely want to thank this station, 101.7. Fred is doing something that in the 60s and 70s radio stations did.
There'll be people outside right now in their cars having fun.
That's right.
Yep.
Locally owned radio stations
Yeah.
would bring that local talent on, that regional talent on, that nobody else would touch. And you can go back and you can find acts that became stars. I'll give you one example. Tommy James recorded the song Hanky Panky up in Michigan. Nobody knew about that song except for the local radio station.
Right.
About a year or so later, it's a hit. Tommy James and the Shondells, we all know the history of that.
Even you said the box tops before. Roy Mack was the engineer at the radio station. Got them to break. Played that song. Yeah. And that was the letter.
Happened. That doesn't
so, but it
happen
was
like
because
that
of you guys
anymore
doing
with all
stuff
the
like this.
syndication and so forth. Yeah. But Fred and all the people
and
here,
girls too.
Eileen, everybody,
Yeah.
you guys are doing what nobody else is doing, or almost nobody else, and we really appreciate that. And all the young musicians got to know that this is great. You guys got to call Fred.
I appreciate.
You guys got to get the help that you can get while you can get it, because not too many stations will do what Fred's doing.
Thanks very much. And we're gonna.
You're a good man.
Very
Fred.
nice. Thank you very much for having us.
We're gonna let you guys go about your day. We're
Thank you.
gonna play something on the way out, though. What was it?
The
Raven.
Yeah,
The
the
Raven.
Raven. The new version of the Raven on the new Resurrection album.
All right.
Got
Thanks
it.
again,
Thank
guys.
you, guys.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember brought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished tomorrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books a cease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for that rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely said I, surely that is.
Is my hair okay?
Someone at my window lattice, let me see them know what the threat is. At this mystery explore, let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more.
Makeup.
Just roll into Devereaux.
I'm a very slow picture taker, guys.
Hey, that's good. Take your time.
Under a second shift, whole life can change. You won't see it coming. There's nothing is sad and there's no one to blame. Now that it's ending, all I want and all I need is to have someone close to me. All I want and all I need, now that I've lost everything, make myself up, start over again. There is a reason I'll never accept that it's as good as it gets. I'll just keep breathing. My soul's on fire, my heart's in the clouds. I like pretending. All that's changed is your rage anyhow. To whom you're sending. All I want and all I need, now there's no one close to me. All I want and all I need, now that I've lost everything, pick myself up, start over again. There is a reason I'll never accept that it's as good as it gets. I'll just keep breathing. I'll just keep breathing. I could ignore it, it might go away. That takes some timing. I have said all the things I want to say, still you deny them. And all I want and all I need is to have someone close to me. And all I want and all I need, now that I've lost everything, I'll pick myself up, start over again. There is a reason I'll never accept that it's as good as it gets. I'll just keep breathing, pick myself up, start over again. There is a reason I'll never accept that it's as good as it gets. I'll just keep breathing. I'll just keep breathing.
Somebody should be paying attention to that stuff.
It depends on what the question is. What? Did we really? Did it go out over the air?
No. All right, you're on.
Okay, we're back with That Sunday Show on Magic 101.7. The guys from Glass Prism are packing up, and we just played one from Devereaux for you.
Keep Breathing. I hope the woman that called a few weeks ago requesting them is still tuning in. And now I'm going to play one from Digger Jones off the All Growed Up CD. It's called Rip Ready. All right, that was Digger Jones on Magic 101.7. This is That Sunday Show, and now I'm going to take a little, what do they say, liberty with my position to do anything I want to on air. I asked a trivia question earlier in the show about what was the greatest maritime disaster in American history, and very, very few people know the answer to it. But one guy, a local musician, found out the answer, and he was so smitten by the answer to the question that he took the time to write and record, after doing extensive research, a really beautiful piece of music dedicated to this shipwreck. I'm going to play a track. It's kind of long, but it's kind of cool, and it tells the story. So bear with us. It's not.
April 1865. The Civil War was coming to a close after 4 years of brotherly blood. After something as dividing and polarizing as internal rebirth, things don't clean up all that quietly. The war was all but over after the surrender of General Lee. As one chapter of history was closing, another was just beginning. John Wilkes Booth shoots President Lincoln in what he considered to be the South's final act of heroic defiance. Lincoln's funeral train travels from D.C. through several states before coming to rest in Springfield. The nation's largest manhunt ensues. The fractured nation's eyes of disbelief stay riveted on the written word and wire reports. In 1865, word traveled slow. First by word of mouth, but proof was held in the print. Bittersweet was the victory. Prisoner exchange had finally begun. As a byproduct of the Union's strategies, these young men were aged prematurely, and many were crippled and maimed in the wake of victory. The boys in blue paid most dearly as the South could barely survive, just struggling to exist, let alone fighting or looking after the tens of thousands of enemy prisoners. Places with names like Andersonville and Cahaba would grow in infamy over the decades to follow. Of all the prisoners to be returning home, a few thousand would become part of a conveniently overlooked atrocity. Not as much bloody, but surely a more gruesome end to a soldier's life, punctuated with a skeletal exclamation point, showing how little value human life had become in this said Civil War. This story is told over the backdrop of the muddy and God Almighty Mississippi River, which, by the way, was pushing flood stages and running fierce and cold in the early spring that April. Steamships carried the written word declaring the war's end, the news of Lincoln's assassination, and the hunt for his murderer. Each port of call was ordained with a written proof of the history in the making. These were the final weaning days where steamships were king. Rail and roads were being rebuilt and rebound for the coming years. As with all free enterprise, where there's money to be had, the greed of man is easy to be found. Improprieties ran rampant in both the common sector and industry that served the resource-famished feud. The internal military hierarchy controlling the flow of this funding was of no exception. Be it within the high-ranking and all-controlling quartermaster or the private industry, all were eager to grab the last crumbs of federal funding before the close of this business called war. In the process of prisoner exchange, Southern-held Union captives would be sent north. Of those from the Midwest, some would pass through a makeshift site known as Camp Fisk at 4 Mile Bridge. These unlucky souls were transported by what rail was left, but most were marched under Confederate escort, some marching several hundred miles in foul weather and in dismal physical condition, to say the least. But through it all, their spirits were kept alive with the thought of seeing their loved ones. They were going home. It was through this camp at 4 Mile Bridge that a few thousand prisoners would pass on their way to board an ill-fated steamship known as the Sultana. With a legal carrying capacity of 376, they marched over 2,200 prisoners aboard. There they would join the 100 civilians, 85 crewmen, 60 horses and mules, 100 hogsheads of sugar, 12 Sisters of Charity and 1 alligator, a mascot located in the bulkhead in a crate. It might have been the repaired boilers, or maybe a crazed Southern operative with revenge on his mind. But either way, that ship, she went down.
That's just not fair. Oh, man. Crack a joke just as we're coming back on here. Oh, man. Anyway, the name of the ship is the Sultana, and very few people know that because it went down right after Lincoln was assassinated, and it never really made the papers. We're going to a break.
That Sunday Show. Tell your friends the only radio station that features local talent is Magic 101.